Are you sitting comfortably? So you've got a nice stack. Good position. You're the table captain, and you've got the measure of every single player on your table. You're a shark, surrounded by fish. And then, redraw. New faces, new stacks, new challenges. How you adapt will decide your fate. It can work to your advantage, or crush your tournament dreams. It's the second half of Day 4 of the PokerStars and Monte-Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final, as the remaining 24 players have redrawn for seats at the final 3 tables. Last time, Jose Carlos Garcia lost the chip lead to Koichi Nozaki, but then scooped chips from Ole Schemion to regain the top spot. At the feature table, Ludovic Geilich sent Mustafa Kanit and Jason Mercier packing, but Johnny Lodden put the hurt on Ludo.
Nice play.
Thank you.
To finish second overall as we hit the redraw. So, midway through Day 4 and down to 3 tables.
Make it to the final table and maybe you can afford one of these bad boys. And I tell you what, I can't wait to take this for a spin.
Well, I've got bad news for you, Joey. They've done the redraw and they're about to restart.
Yeah, but aren't we gonna cut to you doing like a bunch of voiceover and stuff?
Yeah, but it's not gonna take long. We'll be at the poker in like 90 seconds?
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time is not a phrase the remaining 24 players have in their vocabulary. With the table redraw, every dynamic has changed, as EPT veteran Johnny Lodden knows only too well.
The table draw is everything for how my plan is going to be. It depends on who's sitting where and what the stack size are. I've been in this position so many times, but I feel much more confident in my play now. So hopefully I can just find my spots to build a healthy stack into the final.
Sitting to Johnny's left is fellow team pro Andre Akkari. He's the tournament short stack, but he's full of positivity.
I was lucky on the draw, you know. My table could be worse. Even if I got the worst seed draw at this point, you have to beat that. So I'm ready to do that.
Out in the field, one player has a strategy to deal with the redraw, Ludovic Geilich.
You've got to make it look as if you're comfortable at the table to let everyone know that you're comfortable in the position you're in, so maybe they don't mess you about as much.
But with no time to get comfortable at the table, sometimes you just need to be a player with experience, ability, and confidence.
I'm kind of experienced. I played quite a decent amount of time, so I'm pretty confident to play against everybody on this table.
Well, I'm pleased to report Joe Stapleton didn't total that Ferrari and is now back in the booth.
I was arrested shortly thereafter. Different thing, though. Ludovic Geilich, this guy's more aggressive than Gary Busey on bath salts.
In Berlin, where I come from, in Germany, we say Hade, goodbye.
Goodbye?
Yeah, Hade.
I hope you don't tell me goodbye.
Goodbye, El Asmar, is our online qualifier and my own personal hero because he's married to a former Miss Lebanon. How do you say congeniality in Arabic?
Meanwhile, it's selfies all around at the feature table.
I didn't get good out of that. You won that picture. That's better.
I didn't know there were 2 16-year-old girls at this table.
Vegetarian poker. Well, here's the full lineup on the main stage. Johnny Lodden and Koichi Nozaki are currently 2nd and 3rd in chips, respectively. PCA 2015 finalist Juan Martin Pastor is an average stack, while Andre Akkari and Stephen Chidwick are in the danger zone.
Danger zone!
Blind 6,000, 12,000 with a 2,000 ante. Action will be on Anatoly Chen.
Funny he doesn't look like an Anatoly.
He passes. Koichi Nozaki has ace-7.
No Zaki, more like yes Zaki. Love this guy.
He raises from under the gun +1 to 30,000. 10-8 for Johnny Lodden. He folds. Akkari and Chidwick are out. Marcus Ross has ace-3 of clubs in the big blind.
Don't see him folding this. Little domination nation shaping up.
He calls. The flop. Queen 5 deuce. So a wheel draw for Ross. Nozaki's still ahead right now. Action goes check check.
Nozaki giving him the finger.
Nozaki pairs his 7 on the turn, meaning Ross is now a 9-1 dog.
The only thing better than having the best hand is hitting a card that lets you know you probably have the best hand.
Ross leads. 26K.
Maybe trying to get Nozaki to fold a slightly better hand, just probably not a hand this good.
Nozaki responds by raising to 57,000.
Whoa, now as much as I like this guy, this raise is a little goofy. Tough to get a call from a worse hand, and getting a better one to fold is tougher than explaining Bitcoin. Still don't get it.
You're not the only one. Ross calls.
Okay. Well, I was wrong.
Ace on the river, Barry Greenstein. We could see Ross lose more chips now.
Best card ever for Nozaki, because not only is he supremely confident it's the best hand, but Ross has pretty much got to pay him off.
65,000. Ross has counted out the call. He makes the call.
Man, oh man, did this guy choose the right time to go on vacation.
Koichi Nozaki up to 1.36 million. Say hello to the new chip leader.
I don't even think he can believe it right now.
Major action on the outer table where there is a 3-way all-in. Lyndon Basher shoved with ace-jack. Romain Payon is at risk with kings. And Ludovic Geilich is dominated with 9s, but he has both players covered.
Did you say Basha? I don't see Don Cheadle anywhere.
This Basher is an Australian vet who now lives in England. An ace for Basher, but Ludo flops a set. We could see 2 players eliminated here.
Ludo!
You get a king and then a queen. That's close.
King on the turn.
And now the queen.
Payon retakes the lead.
And then the queen.
Basher can win with a queen, but it's unlikely.
It's simple. There's 4 outs. There's 4 outs.
Queen!
Thank you. There is a lord.
Oh, man.
Holy dooly. Oh my god.
Basher triples up. And Ludo lost the side pot to Payon. He is down to 184K.
There is a god. Dealer Daniela be thy name.
I'm sorry to celebrate, guys. I'm sorry to celebrate. Oh, you're right. I'm so sorry to celebrate. Yeah, I love you.
Man, sucking out is really fun.
Meanwhile, at the feature table, man down. Vladislav Donchev has been eliminated by Steven Chidwick.
Donchev, forget about me.
Out in 24th place for 34,400 euros.
Are we really down to 23? That's sick.
And on to the next hand. Andre Akkari, the tournament short stack, will be first to act. He's got pocket 7s.
Geez, we could be down to 22 depending on how this shakes out.
He's all in. Hold it around to Nozaki. It's Pastor's button. Ace-8 of diamonds.
Oh boy.
He calls. Johnny Lodden folds, so we've got a race on our hands.
Somehow Ace-8 is racing like sweet versus savory. One of these 2 hands has a slight mathematical advantage.
Sevens holding after the flop. Andre has to fade aces and eights. Now he has to fade kings as well. The river. Barry Greenstein again!
Everyone get ready for Andre to be incredibly sweet despite the painful bust out.
Good luck, buddy.
Thank you, buddy.
Good luck, man. Good luck, man.
Okay.
Take care. Good luck, guys.
That is easily the angriest I've ever seen him.
Akkari out in 23rd for 40k.
So we are down to 22.
And Juan Martin Pastor is now 7th in chips with 873,000. It's tight at the top. Koichi Nozaki still sits at number 1 with 1.37 million, but Johnny Lodden and Ole Schemion are both vying for the chip lead. Well, Schemion is in action at the secondary feature table. He's just 3-bet Connor Drynan. We've only seen one of Ole's cards, but we know Connor has queens.
So much swag, he only needs one card.
You got 500 back?
If Ole Schemion had a workout tape, it'd be called Swagging to the Oldies.
A set of queens for Drynan, at least top pair for Schemion.
What a sweet feeling for Drynan.
Schemion continues.
Now, even though I say always bet your sets, I don't say always raise your sets. Ole's usually going to have a very strong or very weak hand here, so raising could easily blow him off the weak one.
Drynan calls. The turn card is the King of Clubs. So that gives Drynan the nut flush draw to go with his set.
It is not the best card on the turn, though, in case Ole does have one of those really strong hands. The flush redraw helps, though.
Check, check on the turn. 4 of diamonds on the river. A check from Drynan. And a check from Schemion.
Set.
Both content to check there. It's pretty tough at this point to get paid by a worse hand.
Schemion mucks. So Drynan wins the hand.
But Ole keeps all the swag.
Good hand.
Told ya.
Let's go back to the main feature table where Anatoly Chen has shoved the flop. Action is on chip leader Koichi Nozaki. And Chen does not want a call here. He has a huge dog with 10s against jacks.
I call.
Nozaki calls.
Good luck, all-in player.
Yeah. I've been thinking.
Yes, that.
Only a 10 saves Chen.
That ain't no help for nobody.
Down to 5%. No 10 on the river.
Thank you very much. Good luck. Thank you. Good luck.
Chen out in 22nd.
Good call, Japan.
Thank you.
Huh?
Thank you.
Amazing call.
Yeah, very hard.
I thought he had ace queen. It was a good call. I thought he had ace queen.
Koichi Nozaki boosts his chip lead. He's up to nearly 2 million now. Can the pros knock the amateur off the top spot?
So this is where they do the Grand Prix. Pre. It's pre. Actually, from the looks of some of these guys, I'm gonna stick with the way I originally said it.
Since the redraw, it's been carnage at the PokerStars and Monte-Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final, with surprising triple-ups
Holy dooly.
and inevitable knockouts. The remaining 21 are hoping things will calm down so they can make it to the end of the day. Well, Ole Schemion is being moved from the secondary feature table, and it looks like he's coming up the steps.
Hey, hey, hey. Swag, 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 swag. Nobody wants them at their table, especially on their left. Sorry, we're all swagged up here. No more room for swag.
Welcome to the main feature table, Mr. Schemion.
The swag has been seated.
Blinds are up to 8,000, 16,000 with a 2,000 ante. Action on Schemion. King 10 of clubs.
Well, that's not going to take long for him to get in a pot, is it?
What a baller. 34.
You heard the man, he's raising. Round to Nozaki, who's got sevens.
I know Nozaki has given no you-know-what so far, but he needs to tread lightly against Officer McSwag.
Koichi has called. Johnny Lodden has 5-4 off in the big blind.
Understandable he wants to defend this, but this is some wishful thinking against these two hands.
Three-way to the flop. So it's second pair and a gut shot for Lodden. Nada for Schemion. Nozaki still ahead with sevens.
Technically an overpair.
Schemion continues, and Nozaki folds the best hand.
What in the world? Hey man, sometimes you just have a feeling, I guess. Gotta go with your gut. Sometimes your gut's wrong, but the important part is that Johnny now has the best hand.
He calls, and we're going heads up to the turn. Well, Schemion picks up a club draw. Johnny checks for a second time. And after picking up equity, Schemion will fire again.
This is why playing against a guy like Ole is so tricky.
140,000.
He looks strong, which he could be, but in the interest of balance, he could also be barreling ace and king high hands, trying to get Johnny to fold exactly the type of hand he's got.
Johnny calls again. We're going to the river.
It's a good call, but he's likely to be facing a big bet on the river regardless of whether or not a club comes.
It's the 9 of diamonds, leaving Ole Schemion with just king high.
And then leaving Johnny with nothing more than a bluff catcher.
Johnny checks for a third time.
Let's see if Ole gives him something to catch. A bluff, I mean. He's got a clean bill of health as far as I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, the clip is being emptied. Schemion fires 245,000.
Johnny's called twice. Why stop now? Well, I can think of one reason why he's only got a pair of fives.
He's counted out the call.
It's not an easy call to make.
But make it he does!
Nice.
Johnny Lodden takes 500,000 off Ole Schemion. And he takes the tournament chip lead.
Nice hand. Thank you.
I agree, Johnny. Good one. But be careful.
More than 2.1 million. And Johnny Lodden is now number 1, while Ole Schemion has fallen out of the top 10. The UK is still pretty well represented, with Tom Hall in 3rd and Lyndon Basher in 6th, but Ludovic Geilich is no longer on the leaderboard. He is at the outer table right now, and he is facing a C-bet of 20k from Christopher Frank.
He is crazy short.
And he's all in. Frank calls and doesn't like what he's seen.
Ludo caught his one over. Usually that's all it's going to take to win this.
So a pair of queens against a pair of jacks.
At least for Frank, it shouldn't cause too much damage.
Ludo just has to fade a jack on the river, which he successfully does to double up.
I would tell you how many big blinds Christopher Frank lost, but it's pretty much impossible to calculate. 16,000 big blind, who can do that math? And Ludo has doubled up to just over 1/3 the tournament average.
Well, we're heading back to the main feature table where the action has been folded to Scott Clements on the button. He passes. Johnny Lodden has ace-9 in the small blind. And Johnny will call. Ace-jack suited for Ole Schemion.
This should be pretty interesting. Two bosses playing fairly boss hands from the blinds. Use your words, Johnny.
Schemion raises.
Why?
There you go.
It's too cheap, man.
Yeah, but enough about Johnny's shirt. He's never folding, by the way.
He calls. And these two go to battle again.
You can see why Johnny didn't want him sitting next to him.
Well, Schemion's still ahead, but with a paired board, there are plenty of chop opportunities. Check, check. And with a jack on the turn, Schemion has Lodden drawing dead.
The best hand gets besterer. And I believe Ole's going to bet now. He knows he can get a lot of calls from ace-highs.
Yeah, this is a delayed continuation bet of 58,000.
Unfortunately for Johnny, ace-high is going to be good here an awful lot. It just isn't.
He calls. Well, we know the river is immaterial. For reference, it's the king of clubs.
It is a bit of a scare card for both players.
Johnny checks. Ole checks.
Ace.
No,
No good. What?
I'm sanity.
And swaggy.
Calling, drawing dead. That's good, Johnny. Well played. See, I just limp in with ace-9 there. Huh? Respect I'm giving you?
I would do the same.
Still you have to raise with ace-jack, huh?
Yeah. I mean, you don't limp ace queen, I don't think. Sometimes.
I did raise.
Sometimes.
Tricky.
But I take that risk, for sure.
I can't even handle the swag. I'm going to follow Ole Schemion into the parking lot.
Well, Ole may have won this round, but it was Johnny who made a great call earlier to take the tournament chip lead.
I tried to stay away from Ole, really, just because I respect him and I respect his play, and he's probably the one player I respect the most. I'm sitting out of position against the genius. You don't want to get involved against him, like, don't get into a mind game. He just moved from one of the other tables. It was literally the first hand he came to the table under the gun. He opens.
34.
The button defend, and I have 5-4 in the big blind. I most likely lay down if somebody else doesn't call. 5-4 against Ole. You don't want to play out of position against Ole. But as long as somebody else get involved, I feel like I have the odds to call there. And if you hit, most likely nobody else on the table hits, because you're most likely the only one with small cards. Flop is 6-5 deuce. Ole bet 52,000. The button folds, and I defended with 5-4, and I flop second pair and a god shot, so I'm not going anywhere. I believe on the flop I have the best hand against Ole. It was a rainbow flop, but it's not a dangerous flop for him to continue on. Turns a deuce. I check, and he bets 140,000. I still believe I have the best hand, and I played Ole enough to know that he is capable of 3 bullets. If I'm going to call there, I must call 300k on the river. And if it doesn't come like any danger card, I decided I'm going to call him off. You have to trust your instinct. I don't have any read on hole or anything, but I know he's capable of doing this. The river's in 9 of diamonds, I check. He bets 245,000. So the board didn't change anything on the river. And as long as I call the turn, I have to go with my instincts. And this time it was correct. And easy as that.
See? Just follow your instincts and you'll be right. Guaranteed. Guaranteed, not guaranteed.
At the secondary feature table, our qualifier is in action. Hadi Al-Asmar has a flush draw and 2 overs. João Simão has deuces. It's almost 50-50.
Check.
Action goes check, check.
They're both really likely to like their hands.
And with the ball pairing on the turn, it's still almost a flip.
It's pretty much a flip pre-flop, too.
Simão bets 112,000.
Simão's gonna be pretty sad when Al-Asmar calls here.
To the river we go. And Al-Asmar makes his flush.
Not the run out Simão wanted. And this would be a really, 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 really terrible card for him to bluff at.
Wow, he bluffs by shoving on the qualifier.
Ugh.
Al-Asmar calls and doubles up.
Now, I know you're excited, but if you stand up, people are probably going to take that the wrong way. There you go. It's kind of like high-fiving the crowd at a golf match.
Hadi Al-Asmar now playing 1.25 million.
The qualifier is literally on fire. Wait, what does literally mean again?
Crazy code.
Literally, it wasn't that crazy. Nailed it.
Well, how would you like to be at the next EPT Grand Final? You can qualify for Monaco right now at PokerStars.com.
What is a hairpin anyway?
I'll show you.
Huh, wait, why do you have this?
No reason.
The redraw has favored few here at the PokerStars and Monte-Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final, but it's the rank outsiders and amateur players who reap the benefits, leaving the pros wanting and having to work harder to earn those elusive chips. One of the pros who's struggling is Ludovic Geilich, and he's up against Lyndon Basher again. A 10-high flop, action on Lyndon. Wow! He shoves 366k into a pot of 121k.
It's a pretty big shove. Ludo may be asking why so serious, but it looks like he's probably gonna fold.
Yes.
What pair have I got?
Kings, queens. Wrong.
I didn't know if I'd let you see another card, but I didn't know what to do there.
Anything but show your hand.
Lyndon chipping up nicely. You know, this vet didn't come to Monaco just for the poker.
My name is Lyndon Basher. I'm 47 years old, originally from Australia, and I'm a veterinary surgeon. I'm a crazy poker fan. The most I love about the game is the atmosphere. I love the camaraderie. I've made some good friends over the years, so that's good. The €1 million is fantastic, but the money's not what I'm playing for. I'm really playing just for the fun, the atmosphere, and I've already announced before 10% goes to the Nepal earthquake appeal. Rachel and I had known each other for a number of years.
I knew Lyndon for around 9 years. I used to take my dog Monkey to see him regularly. Towards the end of Monkey's life, I was going into the vet more and more. And in Monkey's last days, Monkey, myself and Lyndon spent a lot of time together and we fell in love. So that cloud definitely had a silver lining. We came out to Monte-Carlo to play, but also to combine our engagement.
We picked the diamond and had the ring made, but they had to then deliver it to Monte-Carlo.
It had to be chaperoned by a human being.
And the plan obviously was to pop the question somewhere nice and romantic in Monte-Carlo. And because we're running deep in the poker tournament, so far she's a poker widow, waiting to find out whether I'm going to pop the question.
If I knew when I busted out of this tournament I had to propose to my girlfriend, you can bet your sweet ass I would win it.
If you won this poker tournament, someone might actually want to marry you.
Oh.
Back at the feature table. Action folded to Nozaki.
Nozaki, 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 Nozaki.
Pair of jacks in the small blind, he raises. Juan Martin Pastor with queen 6 of spades in the bag. I'm guessing that's a call.
Man, this guy's just been tearing everyone to shreds. Be careful. This guy being Nozaki.
Well, Nozaki is still ahead with his overpair. Pastor has an open-ended straight draw, but he doesn't want to hit the top end.
No, he does not. Pretty decent flop for both players.
Nozaki continues for 40k.
How can you not peel?
Pastor calls. The turn card is the 3 of diamonds, and Nozaki is now an 84% favorite. He bets again, 50,000.
That is a small bet. Pastor is getting a great price.
Well, this is a semi-bluff raise from Pastor, 175,000 total.
It's understandable. Nozaki's not playing it like he's got a monster. I also like it because it's going to get him a free showdown a lot of the time when Nozaki doesn't fold.
Nozaki shoves.
How about a little vodka cranberry? Although this is going to get snapped off by a better hand, always.
Pastor does not have a better hand. He's forced to fold, and Nozaki adds 263k to his stack.
Nozaki, 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 Nozaki. Owned by the tourist.
Well, Nozaki has retaken the chip lead. He's playing 2.1 million, a 133 big blind stack. Johnny Lodden sits in second with our qualifier, Hadi Al Asmar, in third. And the blinds are up. We're now playing 10,000, 20,000 with a 3,000 ante. Actions on Marcus Ross. He folds. Nozaki has passed. Pastor has mucked. King-Queen suited for Scott Clements.
45.
He raises. Lodden's out, as is Schemion. Stephen Chidwick has ace-jack suited.
Stevie's got 20 bigs.
All in.
He shoves.
How much is it? 327. Okay, I call.
Wow, I think that's probably a fold against a reasonable shoving range.
Thanks.
He was saying that to the dealer, not Scott, I hope.
So Chidwick's at risk, but he's got the best hand and is close to a 6-4 favorite. But Clements outflops Chidwick.
This is looking like it might work out for Scott.
10 of hearts. Guard.
It's the 2 of hearts. Chidwick now with a flush draw, 12 outs in total.
If this comes running hearts, I will be so sorry I said it's going to work out for Scott.
No dice. And Stephen Chidwick is eliminated.
Good game. Good luck. Good luck.
Stevie 4444 headed for the door.
Good luck.
Nice meeting in person. I played
Thanks.
online against you.
Have fun.
For his 21st place finish, he'll collect 40,000 euros. Well, let's check on another Brit, Tom Hall. He has gone to the flop against Lyndon Basher.
You got a better king than me.
Well, that escalated quickly.
You can see why.
Do this to me now.
This flop is huge for me.
Huge for both of them.
Black, please.
Tom Hall has 13 outs. 13 cards that will eliminate Lyndon Basher. Well, there's one black card.
If it's a diamond, this guy's gonna have to give someone a diamond.
Another black card.
I was happy with the 20,000. We're good. I'm a lot happier now. Sorry. Well, not sorry.
No, don't worry. You're all right.
Lyndon Basher is now an above-average stack.
Aw, pirates aren't supposed to give away the booty, unless it's prom night.
Lyndon Basher has doubled up to 966,000. Well, we're heading back to the feature table, and the blinds are up to 10,000, 20,000 with a 3,000 ante. Pastor folds. What's Johnny laughing about?
He just heard a knock-knock joke he really liked.
Schemion with ace-king raises the button. Marcus Ross has jack-9 of clubs in the small blind.
Might be tough to fold this to a button raise from Ole Schemion, but the bad news is you're going to be playing against a button raise from Ole Schemion.
Well, that's not a call. That's a re-raise, a 3-bet to 150k.
Sure, why not? If he's raising super wide, you might get a fold, but also probably not.
When Ozaki's folded the big, it's back on Schemion.
I don't think he's going to be folding his position too often. And in this case, never.
All in.
It's a Schemion shove.
And what are you thinking about? You got jack high.
How much is that round up?
900, 950, I think.
It's almost $1 million.
I want million, man. I want million.
Technically, if I won that hand, I would have 2 million.
Let it go. I have a real good hand.
Truth bombs.
I don't want all your money.
Possibly less true.
Ross lets it go.
Good fold, but I don't know why I'm even saying that. It should have happened 20 seconds ago. Whatever, good bants.
Schemion now has more than $1 million.
What you have? We can't?
Not good enough to call.
Pair?
Ha!
Well, this is wonderfully awkward.
Is it? I can't even tell anymore.
Let's head to the outer table, shall we? Romain Payan has raised from the button. Action is on Ludo in the big blind. And that is a re-raise. That's an all-in.
Ooh.
And that's a call. Payan at risk and dominated.
Not crazy about the 4-bet from Payan. He's likely about to find out the definition of Payan, and then he's going to have to pay up.
Ace-jack holding. Payan only has 3 outs. And he hits one of them.
Oh, that's brutal.
He rivers a king to double up.
And Ludo survives, but barely.
Payon now playing 933k. Ludo down to 47k.
He's taking it well, but we should probably go to break just in case.
So as usual, we're here 2 weeks before the actual Grand Prix, so we won't actually get to see any of the race.
Yeah, but there's still plenty of really cool cars around, like...
Which we can't name because they're all registered trademarks.
Like... Bugatti. A Jag car? Ooh, a Flamethrower. BM Single U.
A train.
That we can say. And of course, the Schmerschmady Schmenz.
You know, I'm really hungry. I feel like McDonald's.
Love me a Big Dern.
Day 4 of the PokerStars and Monte-Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final is drawing to a close. And it looks like the short-stack Ludovic Geilich is about to make his move. He's all in. Adrian Mateos in the small blind. Folds.
You baller, you.
Good luck.
Lyndon Basher calls blind.
Let's have a look. Uh-oh. I didn't even look.
Ludo is dominated.
That's annoying.
They both pair their kickers.
Not good for Ludo.
He's a huge dog.
You know this guy's a vet, right?
Ludo needs a 6 on the river. He doesn't hit.
Good game, guys. Good luck, Tom. You couldn't have had a worse day. Good luck, everyone. Good luck, mate.
Ludo hasn't had a day this bad since they banned the king rib in Scotland.
I'm quite happy for him to get the 6.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good, isn't it? Regardless.
He's a UK boy as well, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
So I was quite happy for him to get
Team
the 6.
UK are kind of dwindling away here.
That's all right.
But you're going to fly the flag when I GG.
Because you and I, you're not going anywhere.
Oh, really?
Hell no.
Yeah, you got the faith in me that I had in you.
Yeah.
Cheers, buddy.
You're not going anywhere.
You're not going anywhere. Not on his watch.
Back at the main feature table. Scott Clements has kings under the gun. He raises. Round to Ole Schemion.
What do you have, Oldie? What do you have?
Don't tell him.
Good hand?
Queen Jack of Hearts for Marcus Ross. And he calls in position on the button. Nozaki folds the small blind. Juan Martin Pastor has 5-4 of spades in the big blind.
Probably going to come along for the ride.
3-way to the flop. Oh, come on, what is this? A flush for Ross, Clements drawing to the second nut flush, and Pastor with a no-good straight draw.
Draws anyone?
Clements continues. Ross, with the best hand, raises to 225k.
Rossified.
Pastor folds his draw.
This is really bad for Scott.
On.
He shoves.
Had to do it. He's doing all right against anything but the nut flush.
Call.
Ross calls as a 2-1 favorite.
And Ross absolutely has to call.
Ross is the player at risk. He has to fade the 7 remaining hearts in the deck.
And this is a pretty big fade. I mean, how many times do y'all go broke here? Pretty much always, right?
Safe card on the turn. Ross is now better than a 4-1 favorite. Safe river.
Jumping for joy.
Marcus Ross doubles up through Scott Clements.
Take it easy, Angela Bassett.
Was that a waiting to exhale joke?
No, yes.
Nice hand.
I do genuinely love seeing people this invested in the tournament at this point. I can't help but feel happy for them.
On to the next hand, and Johnny Lodden will be under the gun. What you got, Johnny?
40,000.
A raising hand. Ace-9 of spades.
Certainly good enough for Johnny.
Folded around to the button. Zaki folds. Pastor's out. Scott Clements has Jack-10 of diamonds in the big. He defends.
Defo defendo.
Oh, this is getting silly now. Top 2 for Clements, nut flush draw for Lodden.
Put the appetizers anywhere. This is all going in the middle.
All in.
A shove and a call. Clements at risk, but ahead.
That was a disappointing for you to see. Yes, it is.
Johnny's the chip leader, so I guess I'm rooting for Scotty. Why does someone have to lose?
8 outs for Lodden.
The straight flush draw.
No, he didn't.
No.
It's lying.
That's bad news for me. I blocked you with 9. Oh.
I ran into Johnny at the bar last night. That's not all he blocked.
Turn card is the 7 of hearts, so Scott Clements has to fade a spade or an 8 on the river to survive. It's the 3 of spades. Clements is done.
Look, guys.
Tournament poker can be so brutal sometimes, but that's the way the news goes.
Johnny Lodden is chip leader once again.
Nice spot to be in, buddy.
Scott Clements exits the arena, out in 18th for 45,700 euros.
18th place in the grand final, and it probably feels like he got kicked in the Clements.
At the outer table, Dario Sammartino is all in with 5-4, called by Adrian Mateos with King-6.
It's getting to be about that time. Time to make moves with whatever when it's folded to you.
Safe flop for King-High. The turn sees Dario pick up additional outs. Needs a 4, 5, or 6. It's an ace.
Nice bang.
There's still never been a Spanish champion, huh? I probably shouldn't have said that.
Adrian Mateos is an above-average stack with 1.6 million. As Dario Sammartino exits in 17th for just over 51k. Well, we should be done, but at the secondary feature table, it's the classicest of races.
The sickest of races.
Our qualifier with ace-king, Connor Drynan at risk with queens.
I can't even do one of those race jokes. It's not even funny in this spot.
Ace on the flop. Adi Alasmar takes the lead. It's not looking good for Connor.
Why don't you have an ace?
You need to queen on the river. He doesn't hit.
Good luck, fellas.
Hattie boom batty.
Good luck.
Connor Drynan is all wet. And the qualifier is blazing down the home stretch.
Connor out in 16th place. That will do it for day 4. 15 players, including our qualifier, have made it to the penultimate day.
Congrats, making
I have to fist bump you for floating me yesterday.
I like this. This is good. Good amount of chips. This is too much.
Oh, this is perfect. It's perfect. Look at it. Beautiful.
It is perfect and beautiful, just like yes, the stack is also perfect and beautiful.
Okay, guys, bag 'em and tag 'em.
Turn in the swag bag.
Pleasure.
So these are the stacks going into day 5. Garcia, Pastor, and Hall are the shortest stacks. I think it's fair to say that Tom is in the danger zone.
Danger zone.
Ole Schemion finishes the day 7th in chips, just ahead of Lyndon Basher. There's a few other amateurs in the top 10, including Elasmar and Nazaki, and there's a pro on top. The tournament boss is Mr. Jonathan Lodden.
I'm chip leader after day 4. Very excited. As everybody knows, I still have no wins on the EPT, so it would be amazing just to take this down. So, yeah, what can I say? Just make it to the final table at least, and then take it from there.
Next time, will Johnny Lodden make another EPT final table?
Hopefully I can just relax and take it as it comes, and God give me some good cards.
Or will the amateurs continue to get the better of the pros?
Very good bluff.
It's not as well. I'm pretty sure you're buffing me, not you.